Hi everyone, Janelle here. I've got my friend Kelly with me from Liv Studio in Truckee. And Kelly is a personal trainer and she's a Pilates instructor and a beloved muscle guru here in Truckee. So I am here to ask her some questions about building muscle in midlife. So I teach women that want to feel better, want to improve hormone balance, want to improve body composition as their hormones change. So what do you think entails a good strength workout in midlife?
Well, it's really important, first of all, to have a resistance training program going for yourself at this time in our lives, because your muscle mass is so important, right? It's like, it stabilizes your blood sugar. Of course, aesthetically we do it, right? But it's also like, for sleep, for all like these other things that aren't aesthetic, it's really important just to have muscle mass. So you think about what that looks like. You want to lift weight, you want to load weight, whether that be body weight, whether that be you can do weight bearing with your upper body, right? You can go into all fours, you can do push-ups, squats, but you're definitely going to want to start to think about adding resistance. So adding like dumbbells, the weights that you find at the gym, any kind of load on your muscle is what builds the muscle mass.
So you want to work it till it burns. It's like
you want to reach near failure every single time.
Every single time. Okay.
So you don't need to go to failure. Yeah.
You increase.
Yeah. And I think sometimes people are really intimidated by lifting weight because they're like, oh, I see these CrossFit videos and I feel like I need to lift really heavy. And in all actuality, you don't. In all actuality, there's two different ways. So if you have heavy weight, right, you do less repetitions, that'll bring you to failure faster, right? But if you're like I don't want to lift really heavy weight, I don't want to hurt myself, right? Lightweight, high repetition will get you there too. So if you're lifting 5 pounds, but you're lifting 5 pounds for 2 or 3 minutes, right, you can start to feel your muscle fail. The lightweight, the higher reps, the more muscle fiber starts to engage with the higher repetition. So heavy weight.
That's what I prefer.
Right, so heavy weight will bring all the muscle fibers in, so that way you only have to do 8, right? But like lightweight, high reps, that's what takes a little bit of time, where like, you're like, okay, now I'm starting to feel it. Okay, that means more muscle fibers engaging. Okay, now I'm starting to feel a little bit more. Okay, more muscle fibers engaging. Okay, now I'm reaching that. I feel like I can't do one more, and that's what you want to feel.
Got it.
And that's what breaks the muscle down and then builds it back up for muscle mass.
Okay. So that sort of leads into how long is a strength workout, like for one session, like one day, each session, how long is it? So you want to go to fatigue, and do you want to do multiple sets, right, on the same muscle?
Yeah, and so it really doesn't matter how long it is, right? Like if you're like, okay, it's more about the muscle that you're targeting, right? So if I'm squatting and I reach failure and I've done 10 reps because I'm just starting, fantastic.
Great. But then do you repeat that like a second time?
You can, but I mean, if you have reached failure, especially as you begin, as you have reached failure, that's like, and you want to look at it like a progression, right? You don't want to be, and this is another myth, you don't have to be super, super sore the next day.
Really?
I promise, I will. Can't try to probably, but like you don't. Like it's like, then your body kind of shuts down a little bit because it's like, it's too sore to do anything. You're a progression and you have to be patient with it. It looks like this, right? And unfortunately, people want to do this because they want the results now, right? But it takes time, it takes dedication, it takes, doing it every week. And doing it every week is something that you want to think about doing.
Okay, consistency. So how many times a week
are we doing strength? 2 at the least.
2 at the least.
Yes.
So shooting for 3. Okay, good. That's what I try to shoot for.
Yeah.
So 3 strength a week.
Yes.
Okay. And then in midlife, what other workouts do you think are good?
Prioritize that. I like to do cardio myself because I like it. And it makes me feel better. It's like an internal shower, right? But you got to think about the fact that, so if I take a cycle class or I teach a cycle class, I'm probably going to burn about 350 calories, right? That's easily consumed on the other side of things. And yes, I feel so good, and that's why I do it. I feel good, I sweat, I feel better. Cardiovascular health, I hit the bottom of my lungs, my heart rate. But the real benefits of the strength training, that's why you prioritize that, is because your muscle mass burns calories at rest, right? So I am now not only getting my workout in and burning calories, I'm burning 350 calories while I train resistance training, but for the rest of my day, for hours after that class, my body is continuing to burn calories. And I think that's part of what happens as we get older. It's like, my metabolism's slowing down. Well, really, you're losing muscle mass, right?
Yeah, so multiple things, and muscle can help so many of them.
Like your muscle is your metabolic wealth. Like it is truly, like if I'm, then I have a job, so I have to stop and have to, sit for a while. I know, I'm confident that my body's still working, versus if I didn't have muscle mass, my body would be.
Right, just.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Muscle's medicine.
Yeah. No, 100. And it's going to be like prescribed. Like it really is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah. Longevity.
Okay. What else did I want to ask you? I think I asked you everything except if you have anything else. Kind of covered a lot.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
No, I like the stuff.
Anything else?
Did you want to know about selection?
At home.
Yes.
What do you think people need?
Yeah, and then we're good at this now because of COVID, right? We've talked about this a lot, so people were working out at home. I mean, we were encouraging people to pick up jugs of water. I mean, it really doesn't matter. But for, squatting, body weight is fantastic. If you progressively add weight, like if you can do a lot of squats without weight and you're not feeling that fatigue, yes, like you can hold a weight plate, you can hold dumbbells, like the client at home holds dumbbells, right? And he squats with it. And but if you can get like a set of 10s, if you can get a set of 8s, if you can get a set of 5s, and then do the lightweight high repetition, right? You can get them easy, like at Target and Walmart and things like that.
That's a good place to start. 5s, 8s, 10s, maybe
and
15.
Then you'll start to progress to 15s. But again, it'll be a progression, and I think but again, body weight's like push-ups. That's a lot of weight, right? Body weight is fantastic. But also, I think one more thing I want to say too, like when it comes to a complete program, right? There's like some big movers of the body, right? You always want to have a squat. You always want to have a lunge. You always want to have a pulling motion, and you always want to have a pushing, and then a hip hinge, right? When you lean in to like, if you're doing rear deltoid flies are really great too, because when I hinge forward, I'm engaging a lot of muscle, my hamstrings, my glutes, the muscle in my trunk of my body, the muscle that supports my spine, right? So those are like some big movers that if you're like have a checkbox, you're like, okay, did I squat? Did I push? Did I pull?
Push, pull.
Did I lunge? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that can kind of help understand like what's comprehensive of what I need to be doing.
I dig it.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else you feel free to ask.
Thank you. I think we're good for now.
Okay.
Appreciate your time.
Yes.